So I'm going to call to order this meeting of the DRB for August 20th. We don't have elected officers, and we're going to hold off to the end of the meeting to do that so we can get right to the hearings and get
I took
folks.
your chair.
It just gives the opportunity to speak. So I'm going to turn it over to Nora now so she can be acting chair for the
today.
meeting.
Okay. At the DRB, we hear applications for land development in the town of Brattleboro and appeals of zoning administrator decisions. Procedurally, the Development Review Board operates on the record. Broadly, this means that we take a clear record of testimony from the applicant and any interested parties, and then issue a written decision with our findings. Applicants and members of the public should be aware that as we are on the record, this is your opportunity to comment on and provide evidence relating to an application. Application materials and written testimony is posted to the town website as received. Hearings may be continued at the board's discretion if material important documents are received after the submission deadline. In the event our decision is appealed to the environmental court, the court will not take or consider additional testimony at its hearing, but will look at the evidence from our hearings, regulations, and determine if the evidence supports the findings and decision of the board. Only interested parties that participate in this proceeding may appeal a decision made by the board. So I strongly encourage all of you to speak up at this hearing. As we're on the record, we're going to ask that you affirm that your testimony will be truthful, so the applicants and anyone wishing to speak to an application, please affirm the following. I hereby affirm the evidence I give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury. Please say I do, if you agree to that.
I do.
So I can hear you, please.
I do.
Are you gonna speak? No?
I'm not applying for anything, but I'm here witness, so I guess I do, yes.
Okay, you do.
Yes.
All right, is there anyone on Zoom that's going to be giving evidence today?
Christina?
This is Chrissy Haskins, I do.
Thank you. Applicants require a majority vote of the full board to succeed. That is 4 votes out of 7. If we do not have a full board present to hear your application, then we will consider a request to continue your application to the next meeting. Today, let's see, we are missing Tim tonight, but we do have our new alternate, Maya Hasagawa. And so I'm going to appoint Maya to hear these 2 cases. So we do have a full board. It should be noted that the town of Brattleboro, after taking testimony, the board will close the public hearing. The board will issue a written decision within 45 days of the close of the hearing. While we may vote on the application, it is the written decision that controls the timeline for appeal. It should be noted that the town of Brattleboro is a party with an interest in land development applications. The town does not have a special status before this board. Documents provided to the board by the town planning department, town attorney, and other town departments will be considered in exactly the same way as information from the applicant and all other interested parties. All right, can I have a motion to approve the minutes of June 18th?
I move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
I'm abstaining.
Okay. All interested persons took the oath, right? Let's see, Brian, has this meeting been properly warned?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Does anyone have any conflicts of interest or ex parte communications? No? Good. And I've appointed Maya to hear this. So our first case is, let's see, 2025-83, Town of Brattleboro Rural District. Dan?
Here.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, tell us about your project.
Hi, good evening. I'm Dan Tyler, Director of Public Works. Also present is Christina Haskins on Zoom. She's the engineer for this project. This project will take place at the water treatment facility on Pleasant Valley Road. The project is the construction of a secondary water tank on the current site. We currently have a 3 million gallon tank on site. This would be a 400,000 gallon tank built adjacent to the 3 million gallon tank. The purpose is redundancy. We need to do some work to the existing tank, and it made the most sense to construct this tank so that we could take the other one offline. It's all within the current site. Pretty limited disturbance in comparison to the replacement of the plant project that just happened. That was a multi-year project. This is probably a several-month project, and we're waiting on some state permits and funding stuff still, but the hope would be that we could advertise this project and construct it next construction season, and it would be completed within that construction season.
Anybody have any questions for Dan?
One question, the dimensions of the tank, I couldn't tell from I could see that it's much smaller, but.
That's a Chrissy question. I don't have that.
Sure. The tank is 62 feet in diameter. So it's a footprint of 3,019 square feet. And it is 28 feet tall to the top of the dome.
Okay.
Any other questions?
You said you're taking the old tank offline, so is it decommissioned then?
No, it just needs to be refurbished. So,
Refurbished.
a couple month process that will rely on this smaller tank. Once that refurbishment's done, they'll just run in series together, and it'll give us additional storage.
Yeah, great.
Dan, at the end of the driveway downslope from all this, where it's paved, and then you go past the driveway, and there's the outflow stream or brook
Right.
from the reservoir. What's between the asphalt, the pavement, and the brook? Like lawn, meadow, exposed dirt, wood?
It's
rubber?
seeded. Yeah, it's seeded, and then there's kind of a brush line between the brook. Upstream of all of that, there's a stormwater infrastructure that takes everything above there. So the
Everything.
parking lot around the plant, the roof of the plant,
Uh-huh.
the area around the tanks.
Okay, okay.
Any other questions?
I guess, well, I want to ask about the landscaping. Is there a plan? It's closer to the road than the existing tank?
It's kind of between the plant driveway and the existing tank. It's currently kind of a sloped area with a slight parking area there. It's still not visible from Pleasant Valley Road.
Oh, it's not visible,
It's
okay.
quite a ways in, yeah.
I see. So it doesn't need to be shielded from the road and
Right, it's
Yeah.
still
Great.
shielded, yeah.
So according to the diagram, there's a no-mow strip around the tank. Is that gonna be part of your landscaping?
The no,
No mowing? It says
just 3 feet.
3 feet away from the tank.
that's to keep vegetation away
Yeah.
from the tank, yeah.
It's similar height to the existing one? Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Can I have a motion to approve
I think there are members of the public who would like to
Oh,
speak to
sorry.
that.
Is there anybody in the public that wants to speak to this application?
I just walked in. When will it come out?
All right, so you came in late and you haven't had the chance to take the oath.
I have seen it. I just wonder when it would.
No, you have to take an oath.
Oh,
Can you step to the microphone, please?
sure.
so they can hear on the tape.
Okay.
Sorry, have to do it. Okay. So as we are on record, we're going to ask that you affirm that your testimony will be truthful. You can repeat. I hereby affirm that the evidence I give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains of and penalties of perjury.
You
Yeah, I
can just say
I
yes.
do.
Okay, go ahead.
Just wondered when it begins. I'm a contiguous property owner.
When? The hope would be next construction season.
Next year,
Yeah.
for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak to this? No more questions? All right, can I have a motion to approve 2025-83? No conditions?
So moved.
A second? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you, Dan. All right, the next case. Charles?
Yes, ma'am.
This is 2025-84.
Or if I could just make some quick comments, if I could make a couple of quick comments.
Sure.
So this is a sketch plan review, so it's not approving any development. It's just an opportunity for interested parties in the board to give feedback to Chuck and maybe some guidance on what information you need on a future application. It'll be rewarned whenever that materials are completed. And then I circulated an email earlier responding with some neighbors' concerns and also some clarifications, and just to make sure everything is on the record and transparent. The complaints or the concerns were about covenants that restrict development on the site. Those covenants are private. They don't contain provisions that relate to Act 250 regulations or local approvals. So those are civil matters that they can seek civil enforcement against. Also, they raised concerns about well and septic capacity. Generally, the board doesn't consider that because the state regulates those. But as a subdivision and PUD approval, you're looking at the capacity of the site. So it might be reasonable for the board to request a design to show that the site in fact does have the capacity for additional development. And this will be going through local Act 250 approval and then state Act 250 approval. So the state in particular needs fully developed plans. The board might wish to request plans to be developed for your review before they're submitted to the state.
Okay. Tell us about your project.
Okay. My name is Chuck DeWolfe. I live at 289 Fox Farm Road in Brattleboro. I created a major subdivision over 15 years ago within the PUD. And I own with my two sons one of the primary central properties, Lot 2D. For a while, because of the covenants and restrictions that I created for the PUD, no more development was possible because of the restrictions, not only from the covenants that I created, but also the state restrictions. Those state restrictions have changed, and I was told legally I was able to develop my property to the point of having 8 duplexes on the 8.9 acres. When I heard that and worked with the planning department, having done this before, I looked toward pretty much requesting as much as possible so that I could pull back. Because previously, in the subdivision that I created a couple of decades ago, there was additions. I had to add and do things that didn't suit the process of this board negotiation. Having spoken to my neighbors, who were rather alarmed by such a large development, what I spoke to Brian about, which was to turn it into a minor subdivision, and instead of 6 duplexes, to only build 2 in my 2 fields and to change my farmhouse into 2 condominiums. So in order to have there not be an adversarial relationship with my neighbors, and also to simplify the project, I also spoke to Brian as it relates to this meeting, and decided to have it be a sketch meeting to get input from you all and my neighbor or neighbors who I personally have invited here, to give me any respectful feedback that was necessary to move forward.
Okay. You guys have questions?
Not quite ready.
So I have a question. You said, I'm confused about the subdivision. Is our notes say there's no new lots proposed?
No, yes, when I created the initial subdivision within the PUD, the covenants and restrictions that Brian said aren't applicable here, but they're applicable to me because they are my neighbors, basically state that you cannot subdivide any more lots. And any building within the PUD has to be 600 square feet.
Sure.
So
1,600.
1,600, thank you.
Yeah.
And in speaking, I guess a few years back, and speaking to Brian, I wasn't able to build condominiums and share the land because I think it was a cottage designation had to be 1,200 square feet. Since in the last 2 years, that's changed.
Okay.
And so I am able to build condominiums now where I was not able to do
But it won't
before.
but the land isn't, we're not dividing the parcel.
No,
Okay,
no,
so
sir.
that was my question.
Sorry.
Okay.
I have,
Yes, sir.
what construction type are you contemplating?
Construction type as it relates to exactly what, sir?
Well, for the condos, they're gonna be 2 units or the units that you're building. They're gonna
Yes,
be
sir. I'm looking to build 2 duplexes.
2 duplexes, 1,600 square feet
That's
each.
correct. Yes,
800 in each.
that's correct.
unit. And the single
Single floor. Yeah.
floor, how many bedrooms, just out of curiosity?
Well, to be honest, I think I'm not exactly sure at this point.
Okay,
I wanted to work with what the engineers that I'd be working with spoke about, but it would probably, and try to figure out what price points and things, so I don't have an exact answer to that.
okay. I have another question about
Please.
the sketch layout. You have a turnaround point.
It's a dead-end road, so.
Yeah, that looks like it's totally on your neighbor's, on the,
It's my neighbor Cindy's land, yes.
yes. Why wasn't that, say, circular? Why isn't that anticipated to say circular and shared?
The turnaround point in front of my house that I share with my neighbor Cindy was there previous before I owned the property. And I believe there is the right of way to use that turnaround as a.
Yeah, certainly the right of way is there. I'm just asking, why is it all on your neighbor's side instead of shared? Well, why not half and half?
You mean why is the turnaround on my neighbor's land?
Yeah,
I believe.
anticipated.
Oh, okay. I believe that Cindy and I share the turnaround and the actual division between my property and hers. There's a tree in the center of it, and I believe that the line goes right to that tree. And so I think it is fairly shared.
Okay,
Is that a correct answer? Does that sound right? Does that satisfy?
well, close enough.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure.
So on this new sketch, which we're just seeing for the first time,
Yes, ma'am.
the new properties are the ones in red?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. This design was created by Merriman Dell, an engineer from Wilmington several years ago, when I was going to try to subdivide the property and realized I could not. And so I used it. He walked the property and did the design sketch, and I'm using it as a proposed alternative to the 6 buildings, just so there could be a visual tonight.
So, and I'm also confused. Lot 2D seems to have none of the red future housing seems to be on lot 2D. What is lot 2D? Is it the whole
It's the
thing, or is
yellow.
it the,
Yeah, it
Is
should
it
be
green
out,
line?
it should be outlined
In yellow.
in yellow. It's a little
I
confusing.
just figured that out.
okay, so the green lines doesn't mean anything.
That's the conservation area.
That's the conservation area.
Okay.
So these duplexes are not close to each other. There's a
No.
driveway in between.
No, they're actually, they each have their own field. And, well, that's just a design opinion of mine, but
Okay,
Yeah,
and then
that I
each
don't
has their
understand.
own septic field
That's
and
correct.
well.
that's correct.
Yes.
If there's a way that if there's a way looking at, I'm building duplexes because I don't want to build $670,000 houses. I want to build $270,000 places to live. And so if there's a way to navigate a larger one septic system that is cheaper, I would move towards that. But or a well that would be shared. Me and my neighbor Cindy share a well. So if the engineers felt, and Act 250 felt, and the state felt, and everybody felt that it was okay, from a financial concern for the buyers, I would try to make it as simple and as cheap as possible. But if you guys, the DRB or Act 250 said I had to have 2 wells and 2 septics, then I would.
So I don't think we're gonna tell you that, but we'd like to know what you're doing.
Right, and as Brian explained, I was asking for a conversation because my neighbors voiced concerns, and I didn't want to come in here. I wanted to sort of listen and get feedback. And from my experience working with you all and Act 250, the plans that you will receive will be poignant and engineered and to the point and approved before I believe you'll see them.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Have you, my read is that there's 2 types of planned unit developments in our current regs that would be allowed? The cottage cluster and the conservation subdivision. Have you looked at each of those and seen which one is preferable?
I've spoken to Brian years ago, and the cottage cluster at the time
Right.
was a 1,200 square foot maximum. And so my covenants of a 1,600 square foot didn't work within that. So what I was proposing was to build a structure that was 1,600 square feet, but have it be a duplex, to have those smaller units.
Functionally, the existing PUD is conservation PUD.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 60% conservation actually.
So can you tell me about the ownership of this after they're built?
The ownership.
Yeah, like who's gonna own what? Is this a condo kind of situation?
Yeah, it's too, from my awareness, it's too expensive to build and rent at this point. And what I was looking to do is develop the property and thus share it with 4 other owners.
Okay, so you
As sell them as condominiums, yep. And share the land with them, because I would own the land with them as well. The rent, because it's, with respect, my simple math tells me it's too expensive to build rental units without serious state funding.
Okay. Other questions, guys?
So the land underneath will be a group ownership if you own,
Yep.
like proportional to what your square footage is, or
Proportional to what?
the square footage of what you own, or how will that be?
My 270-year-old farmhouse is 4,000 square feet.
Right, so
And so I'm gonna be
bigger
splitting,
piece.
well, and so there's 2 fields. The farmhouse is here, and there's 2 quite sizable fields that aren't conservation land that I seem to feel as that would be a great place for a house. And they would have, the 2 duplexes would have their own sort of privacy. I'm 600 feet, 400 feet down the road. My big old farmhouse is there, and then my neighbor Cindy's barn residence is there. The duplexes would be substantially smaller than mine, but
I think she was asking about like the taxes, you pay taxes on the land.
Right, that would have, the legal folks would figure all that out. Yeah, and that could be presented to you as well.
I think I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Also, the agreement on how you're maintaining the driveway.
Of course,
and all that sort of thing.
the driveway and I'll get into, the whole thing,
And for Steve, the 911 stuff.
So I think all that will be covered in the condo declaration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you planning any further development?
No.
So you're going to write a new covenant or amendment to the covenant to say that?
I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I think if my neighbors would say, okay, so you're gonna do this, and you're gonna say you're gonna do this, this is all we're gonna do, then I'd have to really seriously consider that. That would make sense.
But is Fox Farm Road a town road?
Yeah, that's what I was
It's a private road.
Is it
It's
private?
half private and half town.
Okay.
So we, as a PUD and as neighbors, paid to have the road fixed equally by another neighbor. And I suspect that the condominiums would be, and the new people living there would pay a percentage of that, and that would be navigated.
You'd like to see that kind of thought through?
Yes, yeah. I knew, with respect to myself and my sons, I did do the first subdivision, and so I'm aware of what you all want, and I plan to give it to you.
So I will tell you some of the things that come back to us after years are agreements about roads and maintenance on roads.
Okay.
So this is something that I think we're very concerned about.
Okay.
You thought it out.
Yeah.
Ahead of time. Not necessarily what it is, just that you have it covered.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
There seems to be a concern about the water usage as far as the aquifer is concerned. Where is that on the plans?
You mean where I believe that would be navigated, the new wells are not designed. It's only what's presented in the new document is only where the building site would be and where the septic system would be as it relates to what the engineer thought. The new wells have not been proposed, that those areas have not been proposed.
So on the, what I have here is you have the two red places designated to where it's gonna build. What are the, over to the right of that little square, there's a longer oblong one. Is that where the
Septic would be?
septic's gonna be?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Or is that where you think it will be?
Yeah.
This is what I just wanted to offer a visual within the sketch meeting. Those are Melvin Mandel's plans from 7 years ago, and he is articulate, but I'll be working with a different engineer, and they'll have the wells and the septic systems all designed when I pitch it to you guys again.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So, anybody else have any questions or
No, I would just like
comments?
to see more about that information.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If that,
Right.
With anybody, so the board is exhausted their questions? Or you
Well,
haven't
I was
started?
just skimming, most of the ones I've already kind of thought through, or with new info that's come out now, it's removed a lot of those questions I had, but like skimming through the cottage cluster development
Please,
regs.
yeah.
Well, I'm just saying now I'm just hearing that that's your plan for
No,
this.
it's conservation, not cottage.
it was the conservation, but
No,
they're
it
thinking-
was the cottage, that's gonna be the other, right?
I think you're planning to apply for the cottage cluster PUD?
No,
Oh,
no, the cottage cluster, because it's a 60% conservation, I need to go with the conservation,
Yeah.
what's it called?
Conservation subdivision.
Yeah.
It's really weird how we have to deal with existing PUDs that are prior to our current regulations.
oh, I thought I heard that he's gonna have to do PUD approval. If it
Yeah,
comes
but it's
back.
an amendment to the existing
Oh,
PUD,
amendment.
so he has vested rights in that. You'll have to look towards the regulations that were established in that PUD amendment.
So we shared with us was the, what was it? It was part of the PUD. What was that document called? That was an amendment, a 2006
Yeah, well, there
amendment?
was the original and then there was an amendment to that.
Right.
Yeah,
So
and
I
this will
didn't,
be another amendment, I
Okay.
guess, yeah.
so we'll need to actually see
I don't
an
think-
original if we're gonna make
He
an
said we
amendment to
didn't
it.
have,
So how can we amend something we don't have?
well, we're
We
not.
just have the language that was incorporated into the last set of zoning regulations. It established a list of uses for each parcel.
Oh, that document you shared?
Yeah.
Now, was that list of uses, was it for it, to me, I didn't read that as a list of uses of new buildings, but what could be done with the existing buildings?
I don't think it has that limitation. But, you know, it talks about having site plan approval for those particular uses, and talking with Sue, I think the more conservative approach is to do an amendment to the PUD as well as site plan and local act 250. So going forward, we'll rewarn it as that.
So can you tell us more about the existing farmhouse and what you're planning to do with that?
Well, it's a 4,000 square foot farmhouse with an apartment in it. And it made sense to me and my sons, who are 17 and 20, that we divide it in two and make it to be two condos. And so working with, an engineer, navigating how that would be navigated. I've never turned a 270-year farmhouse into two condos, but I suspect that they will go over the square footage of the place and see how to balance both things out. And again, be giving this board a full plan and I would think of Act 250, the whole 9 yards again for that project as well.
So you're gonna do this all at the same time?
I figure we do it all at the same time.
Okay,
All at the same time sounds good to me.
well, getting the equipment in and out, I guess.
Okay.
And,
There's no construction on the from my understanding, there won't be a lot of construction on the farmhouse. Maybe an upgrade here and there, but I think it's more looking at the farmhouse and basically, splitting it up. In the sense this side is a condo and this side is the other condo. That's my basic, simplistic understanding. There won't be a lot of construction done to it, at least as far as I know at this point.
okay, so no changes to the septic or well?
I suspect at this point there doesn't need to be, but someone might disagree with me, and if there is, then it will be formalized.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. DeWolfe, did you maybe been asked this by staff already, but did you ever get a copy of the PUD master plan? Or have any of your neighbors, if they're listening? And have you held on to it?
I have a very large box with a lot of paper in it that has to do with this PUD. I could potentially find something if we're looking for that. I couldn't tell you exactly because it's not any digital file I have. I do know that when you ask of a master plan, does that mean part of a similar map, or are you looking for language?
To be honest, I don't know if I've ever seen a PUD master plan, but I know a bunch of them exist for different developments throughout town.
Okay.
And apparently they never expire until people.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Well, Francis Moore LePay, the author, the ecological author, owned the property before me and went through a huge PUD master thing, and then I subdivided that. while I was running a foster home there.
So there, driveways and whatnot, when you come back, we'd like to see them.
Yes, definitely.
Any trees that need to come down
Yep.
for that?
Yep.
Okay.
And
There's
the
not-
landscaping plan.
Yeah,
Yes.
landscaping plan.
Yeah.
When you mentioned, Nora, when you mentioned before, about the, it seems to be a concern about, the roads themselves and the widening and, or widening and or guardrails, I'm not familiar with that area.
The town would have to decide if that's
Yeah.
necessary, I think.
I could speak to that, ma'am, if you want to. If you wanted me to, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm concerned about, the actual, with that, if it's gonna be, how much traffic is going to be there,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Is there a question I could answer, or?
I just don't understand, I'm not familiar with the area, so I don't know what you mean by widening the guardrails. Is there a road
I
that
haven't
has
been
it?
up there, but I'm gonna propose that we do an on-site when
Sure.
we get closer to,
Yes,
that we can have
definitely.
more of the plans and
course.
we'll go
Yes.
up and take a look. Now, I guess half the road is, town and
Right,
closer into your
Yeah, it
areas.
comes down a hill and
Right.
widens out for the plow,
Mhm.
and then it gets smaller, and there's a large row of pine trees along the entire road. Chris Severance at the top of the road maintains the road and plows the road in the wintertime.
Okay,
so that would mean more snow removal.
right,
Okay.
places to put it and all that, yeah.
Well, we pay for our own snow removal, so if someone someone bought a condo, they would pay Chris, yeah.
It's definitely something.
I have a question about your closest neighbor.
Mhm.
She shares the well with your current house.
That's correct.
And do you know how many units in that house there are? Is it just a single family?
In Cindy's house?
Yeah.
Cindy lives there and shares the space with her daughter, and she does a little bit Airbnb. It's a 3-bedroom home.
I'm asking just about for the well, for purpose of the well, because I'm thinking like
As if I condoize it, the well would have more usage, so would it work?
It might not, but it would limit, because you can only have 6 units on a well.
Okay.
So it would limit her ability to build up to the 4 additional units.
Oh, okay.
So
all
that's
right.
something to consider.
Yeah, her taking away her ability to do what she wants.
Yes,
Yes,
like maybe
okay.
3, if it's 6 per well, you show the well, maybe you each get 3 of those potential units or something, and that you would still be under that.
Okay. Thank you.
But I think I personally, I appreciate that you've reduced the scope of this. That obviously simplifies things from the original application.
Thank you. I
And it
appreciate that.
simplifies the water concerns, the septic concerns that are very obvious.
And I'm not sure, but my experience with the Act 250 folks is their clarity is severe. So I'm just saying that might help everybody's process, except maybe mine.
Did we already talk about the frontage requirements?
No, we didn't, but when we, I think when he comes back with the frontage, and the setbacks and everything should be on your paper, so we can like take a look at it and, make sure that they're okay.
I don't think I've thought before until now about a road that goes through a property, but that makes...
It's already existing though.
No, I know, and so that makes me think, at least by my read of the regs, that there's frontage on both sides of that road, even though it's within the same property. It's not a driveway, it is a road.
It's a road.
It goes to another.
Yeah, there's
Mhm.
more residences off of it.
Another thing that may be obvious when you come back with the full plans
Yes,
is
sir.
These are outdated watershed and.
Oh, no, completely. Yeah, those are better than my sketch.
Yeah, you had
I
those
just wanted to
available.
offer
and
some
so-
form of authenticity.
Just
Yeah.
wanted to be
Yes, no, I
clear
understand.
that we
Yeah.
expect
Yeah,
that to be
Yes,
fully updated.
fully, yeah.
Okay, are we finished? Any questions? So is anybody in the public want to ask any,
Yeah.
make any comments?
And we have received a couple of letters
Two
which are
letters,
put
right.
into the file, and the board has seen those.
Yep,
Some of the comments address those.
okay. Anybody on Zoom have any questions? Okay,
Do you want to require designs for the new duplexes? Act 250 will require something for
Yeah.
that, even if it's fairly conceptual.
yep. Yep. Give us an idea of what they're gonna look like.
Yep.
May I make a comment? I don't know if anyone
Hey.
can hear or see me.
And
Yep.
who is this?
It's my neighbor Ray.
Hi.
Okay, Ray,
Hi,
I
Chuck.
do not, hold on, Ray, I do not think you took the oath.
Okay.
Did you?
That was Christine.
Oh, okay, got it.
All right, let me get my right piece of paper here. Let me check. Okay. As we are on the record, we are going to ask that you affirm that your testimony will be truthful. So would the applicants and anyone wishing to speak to the application, please affirm the following. I hereby affirm that the evidence I give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury. Please say I do, if you agree to that.
I do.
Okay,
I
go
do.
ahead. Give your name and give your comment.
Oh, okay, great. My name is Ray Heller. I use my name as my pronoun. Hi, Chuck.
Hey, Ray.
I really appreciated the questions that were asked and the answers and the discussion. I think the piece about the maintenance of the road is something that as a neighborhood, we over the years have figured out how to like negotiate who should be paying how much to maintain the road. And I think that's something very specifically that needs to be in whatever is created, because I don't know if it's based on cars. I don't know if it's based on people. I don't know what the best, I'm sure this has been done before. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, but it would be nice if it was in writing, just so that we didn't have to have this discussion every time that we maintain the road. That's something that I would request as a neighbor for this project. That's my thought. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet. It does.
And then wonderful. And then the second thing is I'm concerned about, like, already there's just a lot of traffic on the road within the last 5 years. I moved here 5 years ago. Just in general, there's a lot more traffic, there's a lot more tenants, there's a lot more hip camps, there's a lot more Airbnbs going on. And it's been okay. And the roads do have a lot of like sharp turns. And so it's a concern of mine that potentially if there are 4 units, or if the farmhouse is at, it's unclear exactly how many units, but just potentially if there are 2 extra cars per unit, that's potentially 8 more cars on the road down there. It's a concern of mine, and I'm curious how that can be. Is there a way that can be addressed? I'm really in support of housing. 2 duplexes feels a lot better to me, obviously, than 6 or 8. And that's one of the biggest concerns of mine, is that I'm already afraid for my life when I drive on Fox Farm Road and then Black Mountain Road. And so to add a bunch more, definitely more cars, is something that I'm curious how the town or how as a neighborhood we could address to make the roads wider. Can the roads even handle this level of traffic? That's a concern of mine. So thank you all for your time. And I'm also really in support of housing. So I don't know. There's a mix of feelings. Okay, that's all. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Chuck.
Thank you. Okay.
I just thought of one more thing
Okay.
for the final plan to add. Access to the houses off the road. Will there be a driveway? What
Yeah.
kind of driveway? You need to show that.
Yes, ma'am. We'll get that done. One small thing to speak to the road. Initially, there was theoretical plan that on a monthly basis, everyone would pay a certain amount of money depending on what part of the road they use, and that would be figured out legally as people bought and sold houses. Who was the leader of that thing and got lost, and I can actually take responsibility for that. Ray took it on when new people came in and said, "Hey, what are we doing?" Ray was a really good resource for all of us. It seems like a more formidable plan would need to be necessary. And we are lucky to have a neighbor who is amazing at doing all that kind of work. So he's only a half mile away. But some formulated regular payments, so there was actually be an account that actually took care of the road was the initial plan. And in the midst of, I don't know, several different transitions of purchasing, people leaving and selling and coming back, it got lost.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. So.
Like in the reserve account.
Yeah, just a little, just
Yeah.
you know, not millions of dollars. Just an option.
I have a quick question, which, on the plans here, which part of this road is the town and which part is not?
If you, I'm not sure if you can see it on it seems like all those black dots on each side of the road are pine trees, and that's all our road. The plan doesn't go up to the bottom of the road. I can say that Fox Brattleboro is a rather steep road, and then it opens up for the plow to have a turnaround and the sanders to have a turnaround at the bottom. They actually made a parking lot at the top of it because it's part of the trail as well. Recently, they just put a parking lot at the bottom of that road for the West River Trail, so they made it even more substantial.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's our nemesis, private roads.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, to redo, the board is requesting a draft condo declaration, maintenance agreement for the road, an engineered site plan including water and wastewater, landscaping.
Setbacks. And setbacks delineated, yeah.
This is Ray speaking. Another
Okay.
neighbor on the line is trying to speak, but he's struggling to unmute himself. Would you be able to unmute him?
Is that Chris? Perhaps, Ray, you could call him, and then we could have a chain of electronic devices getting his spoken word to us. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I've got him on the phone. We're doing so many great workarounds. Okay, Chris, you're on speaker.
Hi, I'm Chris Severance. I live at the first house on Fox Farm Road.
He has to take the oath.
I know.
Excuse me, you have to be sworn in.
Okay.
Okay, real quick. I hereby affirm that the evidence I give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury. Please say I do if you agree to that.
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead. And your name is?
My name is Chris Severance. I live in the first house on Fox Farm Road. I've seen a lot of changes over the years. I've lived here since before 2000, so I've been here over 25 years. My father was actually born in the house at the end of Fox Farm Road, so I've been here all my life. And I do a lot of the road maintenance, but it depends about the width of the road. There are no guardrails, the trash at the top of the hill, added traffic, adding a parking area for the West River Trail Association was great, but that also creates traffic. They don't really see it in the private section of the road, but I sure do. Just things like that. How are those going to be addressed? I mean, the road's too narrow to pass two vehicles. It's one vehicle at a time.
Okay, do you have anything else to add, Chris?
No, that's about it, really.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That does bring up another point to bring forward. trash collection,
Mm-hmm.
when you put this, later, when you've got the full address how trash will be collected, assume you'll have a commercial unit and a
Most likely, we're gonna have to
Individuals
take
will
on,
pay
the
for-
trash everyone has to bring their trash to the top of the road. That's where all the mailboxes are as well.
okay,
And it's been coyotes and things, it's been semi-problematic and it's come up several times, if not more. So people are concerned because they pull into the road and the trash has been, coyotes have took the trash apart. So there'll have to be some sort of trash system. I suspect that there will be a private trash system, most likely, because bringing all the trash cans to the top of the
Do you have town pickup now for that at the top?
town pickup at the top. I think partially some of the conversations are that literally the town, there's Black Mountain Road and the mail comes at the top, very top of the road, half mile away. And then the trash pickup as well, because of the private road, because they're not gonna go down and pick it up. So I thought that would actually make sense.
Yeah, I think it depends. I'm not sure because you have it all in separate buildings, but you can only have, I think, up to 4. I think over 4 units won't be served by the town.
Okay.
But these are separate
So they're
buildings.
separate, but it's on one lot.
Oh,
Would it not be? I don't know, with the condo development.
yeah.
Likely you would
Applies
need
to
a private
apartments.
bin.
Well, not our decision.
But if you do, it would need to be screened from the road, just so you're aware.
Okay.
Unless that's not in this district. We like them screened.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Okay.
I think that's in the district standards.
Brian, I think you were reading the list of things, I mean,
Yeah.
sidetrack.
Oh, yeah, so the last ones were landscaping and building design, and you can put a trash collection plan in there as well.
Yeah.
And you don't have to move formally to close this because it's a sketch plan, but
Okay, anything else you want to tell us?
No, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
so we need to elect officers. So we can start by doing nominations, and we don't have multiple nominations for each position, we can just vote as a slate. So make your nominations, and then when we get the slate assembled, back to these moved and seconded and go to.
Can we do that in a deliberative session?
I don't think there's any real reason to do it. If there's a debate on who wants to be, which
Doing
will-
it on TV.
It's fine.
Yeah. We've always done it live.
Yeah.
I nominate Nora Dissinger to be our chair.
I would second.
Alright. Any other nominations for chair? Like to, So this is a little odd, but I'd like to nominate Tim Wessel for vice chair. He's not here.
Does he know?
Hmm?
Does he know you're nominating him?
No, but he was interested before.
Okay.
Anybody second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Tim can be mad at both of us.
Yes.
Any additional nominations for vice chair?
And I'd like to nominate, or your secretary, Brian?
Clerk.
Clerk. And second for Brian to continue as clerk?
second.
One of you could do the minutes.
Okay,
Does anybody want to move to approve the slate?
I move to approve the slate.
Second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Cool,
That was easy.
okay. Who wants to tell Tim? I'll tell him.
Good.
You'll tell them? I can email.
Yeah, it's like, you don't,